and welcome to Q Club, QPod. Don't really know what it's going to be called. Hopefully the sound in here isn't too bad. It's a little bit echoey. We are in an undisclosed location, but hopefully this is going to be okay. Hopefully it's not going to be too echoey. Hello. Hopefully it's not like that. So, Q Club, QPod, I mean, everyone's in the business of making and creating cults. Sorry, I've got my nose tape on. And, you know, it's all about cults. It's about building a brand that people are going to run through walls and buy whatever you sell, they're buying, if that makes sense. But anyway, this is number one. This podcast is going to be, I don't know. It's just something that I've always wanted to, I've always done stuff like this. If you follow me for a while, you know, I've done this for a while, different things in and out. But this, I really just want to build up. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to become. And I just need to get it done. Blocking out nerves and just get it done. Got pro in shape. Need to keep up the muss. But you know, when I keep meaning to do a podcast, and when you're trying to jump, you're trying to jump into something like cold or something, for example, and you're like, ugh, and you're trying to do it, but your body's stopping you from doing it. That's what it's like. I'm like, I need to do a podcast, and so I'm making excuses. So I'm basically just shunning the excuses, getting it done, and stop being a little child. The main thing as well is the fear of failure. Fear of like, other people are going to think, oh my God, he's got a podcast. Yes, I'm doing a podcast. What are you going to say about it? You sit at home scrolling from through TikTok, and hopefully you're going to see the QPod on there at some point. I also will be bringing guests on within the fitness and coaching space, because I do have some friends within that space, but also friends and even some family from obviously my family, to talk about different things, to different things that occur in life. I've got a good couple of people who might have some good insights on certain things that might help other people if you are watching it, if people watch this. I'm also going to try and make this funny if I can. I'm on my own in an echoey room at the moment, so whether or not I can try and make this funny is one thing, but we're going to give it our best shot, all right? We're going to go. And I'm also, sorry, I'm just reading off this intro. And I also hope to have a better, more consistent set design down the line. At the moment, we're just doing what we can with what we've got. Normally I make excuses. Today we're not making any excuses. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm actually going to double check that my mic's picking stuff up. Hello. Okay, it is. I was rather worried then. Rather worried. Right, are we ready? We're going to go into the first thing I want to discuss, because it's number one, and this is almost something that was asked in the Q&A. What we're going to do is we're going to do different things. We're going to do my goals for 2025. That might be fitness, business, everything in general. We're going to do a segment, and then we're going to get on to, that's going to take a bit of a time because I've got a couple of different things that I want to talk about as well. Then we've got a segment which is basically do's and don'ts of the gym. All these different segments are going to have different names and might be called different things down the line, because I don't have a clue what's going on with these. I've just given this a name, and I'll explain why it's called this down the line. We've got a couple more segments. We're not going to get onto it. We've got NFL. If you like NFL, then we've got a couple of NFL because it's getting into the playoffs, a couple of upsets, and then we've got Q&A at the end. So please hold on. Don't turn it off yet if you are watching it. And we're going to have a hell of a ride today. Let's get it stuck into it. I need a bloody sip of this. Lovely. Right. So the main goal for me is to build my media company. I don't know, again, names are all over the place. I haven't just fully decided, but I like Quinn Pryor Media. QPM. I'm always known as QPT. So hopefully, QPM is Quinn Pryor Media. We're hopefully going to make sure that is the brand. It's quite good branding. It links to what I'm already known for. QPT was something people always call me QPT, or at least that's what my last business was, or the coaching business was. And with Q, it's quite unique, quite different. So it's quite a good marketing, quite a good branding. So we're going to keep with that. Now, why the change? I put a little bit on my Instagram. The main thing that I'm changing is, or moving into this, is because with coaching, I just found that it wasn't even the coaching aspect. It was the business aspect, which is why I'm going to go into this business slightly differently. Hopefully have some people around me that are going to be able to help me with it. Because it's very, very lonely also running a business, especially a coaching business where it's all on me to, create content, to do everything, which is what a business, you start a business doing. But when it's a coaching business like that and the growth that I had very quickly, it's very easy to get complacent and to maybe put money in the wrong places, which then causes X, Y, Z, and then profits aren't as much, and then suddenly you don't have as much money and everyone thinks you're doing amazing. Everyone's like, oh my God, you're so good. And I'm actually in the hole. So maybe that's something we'll talk about down the line, what actually happened within the business, and maybe that's something that I can, help other coaches, as hopefully I'll work with them in the future. Hopefully I can help them avoid that. But coaching people was never the thing that I didn't like. It was the business and all the little bits that came with it that I just couldn't bring myself to do, and that's why I'm now moving into a media company. I want to work with coaches like myself, or like what I was, and small business owners to generate content, sleek, really nice looking content that can be posted on Instagram, TikTok. You can put it on Facebook if you want to, so that you can drive sales. People understand what you're doing or what your business actually does. And also, I'm trying not to go and ah. I'm consciously doing that now, but now the words are not forming in my brain. So that A, clients can find them, B, they look professional, C, they, whatever service that they are providing, they can provide education for them through Instagram, like I used to do with my food and other content, whether you were educated or not, we don't know. But also for like portals for businesses to do like shoots, like opening shoots. I've got a couple, I've got a friend who's opening a shoe store in Worcester soon. So hopefully we can get some stuff for the opening. I think it's opening next week, if I'm on Sunday or Saturday. Hopefully I can get there, get some footage for him. And yeah, so it's a media company. I also want to be doing these podcasts. So the way it's going to work is I want to have a overarching media company, Quimprime Media, and then to have different things that I produce underneath it. So the QPod, or whether I do a Swole Golfers pod. If you don't know that, I've got a TikTok and Instagram, the Swole Golfer, where I play golf. That's one of my goals, is to get decent and get even better at golf. But whether I have a golf podcast under the Swole Golf, as the Swole Golfer pod, QPod, different things, because I really like podcasts and I like producing. That's what I want to get into, even have like a podcast studio, that sort of thing. But yeah, so I want to build a group, and then also to be able to bring people in that I want within my business to, help me build this up and scale it up. That's pretty much what I want to be doing, is I want to build this up to the point where I can bring other people that I know on, that I want to work with, that I'm friends with, so that I can build a work environment that will allow me to elevate the business, not only the business, but also to keep myself accountable for certain things, because it's very easy when I'm the only person keeping me accountable on the day-to-day to slip off when I don't feel the best. I don't really, want to do something, and it's very difficult to continue to do something and to do extra when you're the only person who's pushing you to do that. So to find myself, and shout out to 28 Club, UVU Club, like all these different sort of aesthetic running / lifestyle brands that are being built up, and at the moment they're all amazing, but none of them are someone on their own. And that's something that at the moment I've always struggled with. I always want to work with people. There's always people that I want to work with, but whether or not these people are available to work with and want to do what want to do what I'm doing, but also can do what can sort of just take, because this isn't making money right now. Unfortunately, the media company's not making money right now. So hopefully it will be soon. Hopefully, if you're a coach and you want to create some content, drop me a message. We can sort out a shoot down, do a really real cheap to start with to get this going. But that's QPM sounds weird to say that. So that is pretty much, I'm going to be looking at my laptop, obviously. Late night, oh yeah, this is a goal with what I'm saying. So obviously I'm trying to work hard. Do I work, is the trade-off, this is a trade-off. Late night work, so working till late at night and then taking away a couple of hours of sleep, or working or going to bed. I normally go to bed quite early, like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then getting enough sleep. Is that more productive? Which one's more productive? I'm trying to do a balance of both. I'm going to ask you, what do you think is better, to work into the night and get work done and then not sleep as well, or not sleep for as long? Or do I take the sleep? Because at the moment I'm taking the sleep to the extent, but I'm trying to fit as much as I can in when it comes to doing work in the evenings when I get home. So that wasn't really a goal, that was just linked to the media thing. That was just a question I wanted to ask. So one of the main goals that I have this year is to clock up as many days out of 365 days to be sober, completely sober for the year. It was to be sober for the whole year. I know me, everyone, all of my mates know me, you might know me. It's a bit of a hairy one. I've got a little devil going, go on, you can do it, have one. And then one is just, I just can't have one. I've realised having one, I may as well just throw my phone down the drain, and it's just a nightmare. It's just a nightmare for me. There's some people that can do that, can have one or two. There's some people that can't. I am part of that group that can't at all. It's an absolute nightmare, and I just can't seem to control myself. I get there, if I have one, I just get a taste for it, you know what I'm saying? You get a taste for it. It's so difficult. When I have a bit of protein shake, I have it, sip, oh, that's lovely. Shout out My Protein, Pro Strawberry. Like the Pro Protein. Anyway, but you have one sip and you're just like, this is gonna be a long bloody night. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no getting away from that, especially when you've grown up doing that, and especially someone like myself who is always trying to find ways of altering my state of consciousness, whether that is through drinking, whether that is through substances, whatever they may be, or whatever it may be. I'm always trying to find a way to alter my state. You might find that quite relatable. But it's understanding that is happening. If you don't know and you're just trying to, you're just drinking loads, you're like, I don't really know why I'm drinking, I just like to have a drink. Yeah, nobody really likes to taste a beer, let's be bloody brutally honest. It's just very mediocre. But you drink beer because you're like, I'm going to get a buzz from it, which is going to make me feel good or better. Agreed? Yes or yes? Yes, let's go. So what I'm going to do, I'm so far 19 out of 19 sobre, right? Sober. And let's going to keep this going. I'm doing it because every time, productivity, I want to be ready. I want to be able to make content. I want to be able to work, and I want to be good for training. I just don't want to, whenever I have it, I'm just like, as soon as I have a drink, every other thing that's going to happen for the rest of the day, gone, out the window, doesn't happen. So if I drink at lunchtime, don't even think of having a podcast come out. It's just not going to happen. Maybe I'll drink on a podcast, and that's a completely different animal. But we shall see. Maybe I'll save it up for my birthday next year, the 29th, and I might do a podcast on my birthday. How about that? I want to picking your goals, and this links to what I'm just saying about being an absolute bloody liability when it comes to the weekends, going to the pub, etc. Is picking your goals and sticking to them. I've picked that I'm going to drink as little as physically possible. That could be completely sober. I've got a wedding, I've got my mate's wedding, I've got, there's gonna be like birthdays and all this sort of stuff. And I'm 19 days in, I'm already thinking, what's the point? Might as well have a cheeky couple of pints on the weekend. It's easily done. It's just because we're growing up in the UK as part of this like council estate mindset that you have to get blasted on the weekends, a bottle of blooming Frosty Jacks on a park bench. It's just ridiculous. Why do you have to go to the pub? What's the point? What do you get from the pub? Same boys, same men are in the pub every time you go down there. Take a week off. Take a week off. Don't go to the pub. You don't need to go to the pub at lunchtime and have 4 pints and then drive back to work, do we? Take a break. Give your insides a fucking rest. Give your insides a rest. I'm talking to myself, talking to a couple of people I definitely know, and I'm also talking to you as the viewer. The main thing that people, fall out of habits or New Year's resolutions or whatever, it's because you go down to the pub, or if you're going to the pub and you're sober and just to see your mates, you need to fucking check your head, because if you go in and your mates are the people who work at the pub, sort it out. Don't go to the pub. And don't have your... If your mates are all the bartenders, you need to reevaluate what's going on in your life. And you need to reevaluate what is important to you, whether or not your health is important, and whether or not drinking 7 times a week is actually going to help you down the line with work, with training, with your health. Do we think? No, probably not. But the main thing is, if you're going down to the pub and they're like, "Oh, come on, don't be such a baby." I need to be careful about what words I use on this, because I don't want to get... Well, I don't actually care, to be honest. Don't be such a poof. Come on, I've got gay friends, I'm allowed to say that. Don't be such a poof, have a beer, mate. Come on, what are you drinking, water? Yeah, those boys are there because they're lazy. They're never going to stop drinking because they're absolutely addicted to alcohol. But also, they don't want to see you do better than them. They want to see you fail miserably, just like them. And listen, I'm partial to a fucking drink. I absolutely, if you know me, once I've got 2 pints in me, anything can happen. Anything can happen, right? And I'm normally the one instigating the silly things, right? This is why I need to stay away from it. And I'm going to stay away from it because I know myself. Now, it's about evaluating yourself, evaluating what's going on in your life. And if you feel as though, I keep waking up hungover, I don't want to do anything, I don't have motivation, think about what you're doing the night before. That's mainly the thing that you need to do. Food, water, everything else. Yes, that comes into play, but what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you're not hamstringing, limiting yourself by necking pints all night and every night. And you look at the people who do that, most of them don't have fucking good bodies, do they? They've normally got a beer belly, yeah. And do you want a beer belly? You do. No, you don't want that. Another goal, I want to be doing more interesting things that enriches my life. I've been very boring. I very much keep myself, contained. I feel like I can't do things. I would like to, spending money on things and experiences. But then I go to the shops, or I go for a blooming, I don't know, there's a sale on at Cole Buxton or something like that, and suddenly I just spend all my money, and then I'm like, why have I done that? And yes, I've got cool clothes, but at the same time, why have I done that? You didn't need to do that. And and this is something that's a big goal of mine, is to save and invest this year, to not spend money on clothes and shoes. I don't really buy shoes, but I buy running stuff. That's the main thing. But I want to film these things, so go and do things. So for my friend's birthday thing that he's doing, he has these, he dreams up these scenarios in his head where he plays songs like a Top Gun song. He wants to do a wing walk, so where you're strapped like you're about to be dominated by some absolute muscle mummy to a plane. And then your face is like that Jeremy Clarkson meme when it's literally like slapping about. You're just like, and you're doing, I don't think it does and Carl Pilkington did it as well. But it lifts off. I want to be able to film that and vlog it and do the whole thing and experience it, but also do these things that are slightly different. I drove around Friday night. This is Monday. Friday night, I went to the shops and I literally was so bored that I then started driving around like an Asbo, right? I'm not going to say where I was. I'm not going to say what I was doing. I was driving erratically just to get some form of rush. That's how very boring at the moment my life is. And I'm not a boring person. I don't like being bored. I like to, that's why when I have 2 pints, suddenly the demon comes out. We don't want that. We don't want the demon to come out because the demon is not good. We want to just experience life in this consciousness, not in another state of consciousness. Are you catching my drift with that? Hopefully people are understanding that. And hopefully you can bloody hear me. This isn't bloody echo, because I want to start singing. At some point, I might just start singing. Move out, that's a goal I want to do. Moving out. Obviously, I didn't live in Surrey. I lived up north with Lacey. We split up. That's maybe something that we'll talk about down the line. And we are now patching things up, getting things back to being even better than we were before. Not just back to where we were, because where we were was not ideal. We're trying to work on things and trying to get things to be better. Now that's what it's all about, learning. I understand that, you know, some people might have the mindset of you can't go back, and some people might have the mindset of give people chances. Some people probably give too many chances. But what we're doing, I didn't want to throw away something that was very, very good when it was good, and we're ironing out everything at the time at the moment. But anyway, I'm living at home. I'm looking to move out. I'm living at my dad's, which is good. We're going to, hopefully there's an annex. They have an annex, which is like a separate flat. Hopefully that's going to be free in the next couple of months, and I'm going to look to move into that. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please follow my Instagram. And if there's anyone who wants to sponsor this podcast, or wants to sponsor me in general, or wants to just send me some money, just send me a bit of money. Give us your money. Then please subscribe, like, share this. If you find this, you know, if you're liking this, if you're finding this funny and entertaining, blah, 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 please share this with your friends. All likes, comments are much greatly appreciated. But I need to move out, but I need money first. So please, I wanted this to be my main job. I want this to be, you know, I want to do this full time. So please, full time, like a referee. Sorry, I've got some serious problems. Shout out Matty Russ. And then, so please just subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff so that I can potentially turn this into my full-time job and I can make these every day. I'm not going to commit to that straight away. But anyway, hopefully I want to move, well, I'm definitely going to be moved out. Where it is, I don't know, but we shall see. The last one, or two, I've got two more. Sorry to go through these goals. Hopefully these are making sense. Hopefully I know these, I need a co-host. I need someone who's A, available, and B, can navigate me being an absolute weapon of long paragraphs without breathing. But anyway, I need to be ready. Now what this means is need to be ready for anything. If you got called up to blooming China invades Ukraine with Russia and everyone in the UK gets drafted, right? Hey, you're going to get some stinky people in that draft, right? But if you get called up, you want to be ready to rock and roll. You want to be fit. You want to be healthy. You want to be able to run. You want to be lift. You want to be strong and endure things, right? Now, that's what training is all about. That's what training, for me at the moment, is all about. It's about feeling good. Obviously, looking good comes with feeling good, but feeling good, being able to pull your own body weight, being able to push your own body weight, to be able to run and lift. Like, I'm heavy at the moment excuse moi. I'm not heavy as in ridiculous. I was 98 kgs at one point. Pork, I was having to turn like that. Yeah, and it was not good. But I've also been down to like real light. At the moment, I'm 87 kgs. Want to be down to about 84, 83. It's good. But I actually want to try and get down to 80, but do it while running instead of dieting. Dieting's a bit rough if you do it like that. But anyway, I want to be as you know, I'm the oldest sibling of my brothers and sisters. There's me. Then there's my full sister called Russia. Very politically incorrect at the moment. You can't be shouting that out randomly. My sister Russia, not sister country Russia. Stop, Queen. Right. I'm the oldest. Then there's Russia. Then my parents split. And then I've got Max and Frankie. and Isla on my mum's side and my dad's side. So I'm the oldest brother. I need to be able to be a good role model for everyone, which I try to be. And it sounds a bit cringy to hear, but if that's a bit cringy and being like not patriarch, but trying to be a strong older brother figure, that's all it's about. If that's cringy to you, then you've got some soy boy issues going on, and you need to get off blue sky. And I know that I get sloppy, so I need to be held accountable for my brother, my sisters as well. I need to be held accountable to make sure that I'm not just seen as the person I'm 27 and I'm living at home. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, but it is what it is, and there's not much I can do. I know what my potential is. I know that I can, when I'm on, I work very, very hard. Need to get some medication of some sort. I have some actually, but I need to get some more focus. That's the main thing, because I'm all over the gaff. And at the moment, I've got a lot of things going on, a lot of pots. I'm like all over the gaff. That probably looked a bit dodgy, I'm sorry. But being lazy, procrastination, self-doubt, and then I'm blame others for stuff that I'm not doing, and it's like, can't do that because I was late to do this. You know how it goes. I'm just the same as you, right? Need to be more accountable, and this is hopefully what these podcasts are going to do. Put in the work in and lock in, right? That's what we need to do. So those are my goals. There's a couple more. I'm going to do a bit of Q&A later on. But those are my goals. Fitness goals. I haven't even done fitness goals. My fitness goals for 2025. Well, that sort of was like being ready. I would like to do a solo high rocks. I've done a men's paired with Mr. Stephen Jones. I need to be careful with. I don't want to say things that people don't like. But who cares? I'm going to call him Stephen Ginger Nuts. Ginger Nuts Bones. No. Oh my God, I'm actually losing the plot. I need to get some bloody nootropics. James Smith, Chris Williamson, send me some Newtonic capsules. Need to have some of them before podcast because my brain, protein, I need protein. Right. Nope. Fitness goals. I want to do a solo high rocks. I would like to do a organised 10k and half marathon. I would like to do a park run where I give it some. The Worcester park run is apparently quite flat. So I want to give one, and I want to have the 20 minutes, that's what it is, sub 20 minute 5k. My PB at the moment is 21:28, I want to say, or 21, something like that, 21:21 or something like that. So a minute and 20 off, it's a bit of an ask, but my issue is, and if you follow me on Strava, you will know this. My body decides to evacuate any waste as soon as I start running, most of the time. It happened even back in the day when I was at uni and we were doing American football fitness, right? And I was doing laps on a pitch. I had to run up to the sports centre to do a crap, because otherwise I'm literally either shitting my cacks or putting them, or mooneying probably someone else who, through the fence of the Astro, just because, so I don't want to shit my pants. But yeah, for some reason that's what happened. So on every single 5k best I've ever done, I have got to a certain pace, and after the first 2.5 kilometers, my body is literally going, we need to get rid of all of this as soon as possible. And I'm clenching. So I'm trying to keep running, but I'm clenching. If I try and slip a fart out, I'm going to shit my pants. It's not good. We don't want that to happen on the bloody A30, do we? Because that's rather embarrassing. I'm not going to lie to you. I may have had to excavate on the side of the road a couple of times. Wet leaves, do the job. Right, so a sub 20 minute 5k, 10k, half marathon. I do want to do an ultra marathon, because I don't really want to do a full marathon, because then everyone's like, what time do you get? What time? I'm not a long distance runner. I don't really care. My knees will blow out. I'll be crawling over the finish line. As long as I get the medal, I don't care. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to go, oh yeah, I did it in 4 hours and 30 minutes, even though that's not bad. And if you've done that, that's respectable. I would want to be doing it in like really good time. And I don't think my knees and hips and body at 87 kg can do that. If anyone thinks I can, let me know. I'll just tell you no. So, and stay in shape, lean. I want to drop down about 4 kgs. I'm on a diet. Earlier on, I was literally leaning over and standing up and nearly passing out because I'm fasting in the mornings. I need to stop doing that because it's not very good. Doesn't help me. See the nose strips? Any nose strip company, if you see this or know anyone, Tom Trotter. I use nose strips every night and throughout the day. I don't take these off unless they fall off. This one, the reason I'm touching my nose a lot is because it's about to fall off. Should we take it off? Actually, no. It's crazy the difference. If you don't use nose strips, I'm genuinely telling you, it's changed everything. I breathe. It's crazy. I use them to sleep, better sleep. I use them all day. I take it off and I'm like, I need to go and go to the doctors to get my nose looked at because I have got, wrong way. Look at the size of that oota. Oota, right? That is a beak if I've ever seen one. Now, these bits go, and then and that's why you snore as well. Anyway, hopefully that's cleared everything up. If there's anything else, please leave in the comments and I will get back to you. Also, drop me a message on Instagram as well. Woo. So the next segment is gym do's and don'ts. We're going to bring up one thing that people do. You may have done it, you may not have done it, but I'm going to put my 2 cents into this. I've given myself this one because my friend actually told me this earlier today and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it into the podcast. But what I'm going to do with a lot of these things, I'm going to get people to send stuff so I haven't seen it and don't know what it is, so you get my actual reaction to this. I've also obviously had a little bit of time to think about this. The segment is called, Will It Make the Boat Go Faster? Question mark. At some point, I'll have little jingles and little pop-ups for this. At the moment, we're just doing this raw dog. So we're going to go. Will it make the boat go faster? I don't know what Olympics it was, but I think Sir Steve Redgrave and that group of rowers, British rowers, basically, I think they lost. And they said for the next 4 years, every single thing that I do or we do as a team, we have to ask the question, will it make the boat go faster in 4 years' time at the Olympics? Should we go out for drinks tonight? Will it make the boat go faster? Absolutely not. We're not going to go out for drinks. Do you catch my drift? Cool. So what we're going to do is, it's called Will It Make the Boat Go Faster? This is the subject for today. Pre-workout for an evening gym session. I could not think of anything worse than having a drink, going to the gym at 9 p.m. Bearing in mind I'm in bed at 9 p.m, right? So this genuinely gives me the heebie-jeebies. You have a little sip of your blue drink, you get to the gym, you're like, oh, how's it going, mate? How's it going? You're talking to your friend who's obviously behind the desk because you've got nothing else going in your life except going to the gym, right, and going to work. You're talking to him and suddenly all you feel is you feel your forehead just feel like you've been shit on by fire ants and you're like, oh, you start ripping your face off like that. And then you got the caffeine and you're like, yes, you might have a good workout. You might get a little bit extra out of it, probably not even that much more, right? And then you get home. You get home at 10 o'clock after a mediocre gym session, right? And you're laying there and it literally feels like you've been down the boozer all night and all day, and then you go back to your mate's house and suddenly it's on, right? You're laying there going, your heart's like this. You're like, I can't breathe. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God. Right? That beta-alanine, that little beta-alanine, he can do you in. It's the itching, caffeine, and then you lose hours of sleep. Whoa, don't start that. Then you lose hours of sleep because you're staying up all night. So yes, you might get a slight better workout in the evening, but not to the extent where it's worthwhile absolutely turning yourself into a blooming doctor's nightmare, which is, what's going on, doctor? Yeah, you don't want that to happen, right? Anyway, that was the segment of gym do's and don'ts. Will it make the bow go faster? Each week, I'm going to bring something else up. If you've got a do or don't, please drop it in the comments. Message me on Instagram or TikTok, whatever you see this on, or I don't know, or just WhatsApp if I know you well enough. And yeah, another segment. I don't actually have them today, but these are all testing it out. Is funny Amazon reviews. What do you mean by that, Quinn? I'm like, oh God, brain rot, the Rizzler. Oh my God, I'm losing the plot. Funny Amazon reviews. You know when you look on an Amazon review or like a review of something and you look at it and someone's left like the most like passive aggressive, angry 1 star or 2 stars, right, on like a TripAdvisor. I don't know why they make me laugh. Let me know if that's something that you would like to see. Maybe we can find some and obviously have an example, Quinn. That would be great because at the moment people are thinking, that's awful. Right. The next segment is... Bear with me. I just pick my nose and get up.
Here he is now.
No, it's never! No, get off! Oh my God, I can't skip it.
Just get satisfied.
Satisfied? No! Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
NFL segment, foosball, as my friends say, right? We've got the foosball. The NFL is on at the moment, right? Also, drink water, please. Don't dehydrate yourself. Not very good. Again, that was just an idea. Hopefully we're going to have like NFL come up. Anyway, there's only actually a couple of days left. If you don't like the NFL, cool. Listen, there's going to be a little bit that I can get you into the NFL, right? A bit of foosball knowledge. But Washington Commanders upset the top-seeded Detroit Lions, okay? That's like West Ham beating Man City when they really should have won. But West Ham have a really, really good central midfielder who's absolutely pinging it about, right? In Jaden Williams, I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's a rookie, and he's an absolute baller. And this is Monday, the 20th of Jan, so over the weekend, we've also had the Baltimore Ravens were booted out of the playoffs by... not Cam Newton, actually. Josh Allen himself, the big dog, the 6'4", comes from Wyoming, absolute boy, the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. I watched the highlights of both of them, and I've been listening to stuff today. The Ravens bottled it. I love Mark Andrews, the tight end. And obviously, if you don't have a fucking clue what's going on, don't skip it, but just I apologise. Mark Andrews should catch that 2-point conversion. You're a tight end, you're a big boy. You need to be able to catch that on the goal line to tie the game. Hopefully, put it into overtime. Potentially, a team can win. Lamar Jackson's now out of the playoffs. He still hasn't got to a Super Bowl. It's not good for someone who's won 3 MVPs. Is it? And also the Lions. What are you doing, man? Jared Goff literally, he's not done. He has 1 or 2 games every 6 that he turns over the ball 4 times, throws pick sixes and stuff like that. Gets to the point where you think, why does it have to be in the playoffs? The playoffs are the reason why good quarterbacks are known as really good quarterbacks and not just average quarterbacks. It's when the pressure's on. What was I going to say? Diamonds are made under what? Pressure. Under pressure. Stop. No. But anyway, that's your... Then we've got the Kansas City Chiefs are playing... Oh my God. Who's playing who? I'm hoping that these lights are going to stay out. Right, so we've got Washington and Philadelphia are playing on the 26th. So on Saturday, and that's in Philadelphia, and Buffalo versus Kansas City. We've got Mahomes, and if you're a little girly, then it's going to be Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce, is going to be catching it. He had an unbelievable game on the weekend. He just gets open. And he is a rather good-looking bloke, I must say. Anyway, that's slightly homosexual. Anyway, the next segment is Understanding Foosball. Okay, how do I understand this foosball thing? Because everyone's like, all of my mates are like, how do you watch it? It's not 4 hours long. Because they've got one brain cell between all of them, right? Now, this segment is called Understanding Foosball. I'm going to basically help you understand why the games take so long. And this is rule of the week. The reason why it takes 3 to 4 hours for a whole game to be played, depending on the score, depending on, if you're the Worcester Royals in their 3rd year, depending on why we would stop games early because we were getting steamrolled that much because we didn't have an O-line. I didn't get most receiving touchdowns by a receiver in Worcester Royals history because of COVID, actually, but also because we didn't have an O-line. My good friend, Matthew Cole, friend of the show, he got steamrolled. He got 1 second in the pocket before he had to evacuate very quickly, unless he wanted his head caved in. The rule is, well, not the rule, but the reason why is there's 4 quarters, each of 15 minutes long. Every time the ball touches the ground, if it's a throw, if it's dropped, the timer stops. Right? There's ad breaks every 2 seconds. Every play is an individual play and you've got to try and get to the next point. The next week is going to be the downs and distance, right? The yellow line and the blue line. And I want people to start watching the NFL because of me. Hopefully people do. If you understand the NFL, this is going to be simple. There's stoppages, there's timeout. Timeout, man! There's timeouts, there's stoppages, there's flags, there's ad breaks in America every bloody 30 seconds. Burger King! Pfizer! Get your... Get your booster now. Oh my God. I'm scaring myself. But anyway, that's why it takes so long. That it's not a continuous game like in soccer, right, or rugby, where the referee blows a whistle. If the ball hits the ground, the play stops, the clock stops. If you run out of bounds, the clock stops like that, and this is why it's a lot more technical, and this is why it takes a lot more brains than kick the ball, or in rugby that was, right? If you're a rugby player, try and tell me it's not literally, yeah, nice cock. Nice cock. That's literally what they're like in the change rooms. Nice cock, Jeremy. Cheers, Tarquin. Why are they American? Sorry, guys. This might be the first and last podcast. Anyway, we're doing a Q&A. I'm actually going to get my phone out as well and go through if there's any extra Q&A. Probably not, but we'll have a quick little look. We've got 2. Okay, so the first one from Aidan. Our main man, Aidan Atkinson. He definitely is going to be on the podcast. And hopefully he's going to be in a couple of videos. I'm going to start doing vlogs of runs. And I want to start a run club and I know people already have some stuff going, but, just have a group of people. Anyway, he said, what's your fitness goals for this year? As I said, High Rock Solo. I want to do a ultra marathon is pretty much. I want to do as many organised races as possible, 10Ks, half marathons. I want to do a park run. I want to stay lean. I want to get into, actually, Aidan does this. I want to get into functional fitness, which is a gym. I'm unsure about how much we've actually got. I don't know when that cuts off, but I'm going to basically go back to what I was doing. I was going through my goals. So basically he's asking, what are my fitness goals for this year? I want to sub 25K. I want to do an ultra marathon. I want to basically still maintain all my muscle tissue, which is just through diet really. And I want to start doing functional fitness through calisthenics. I've done CrossFit, but obviously it's slightly different. My only issue is that I am 87 kg, and most people who do calisthenics weigh that much of a newborn fetus. And they're like, I can do 17 pull-ups in a row. Yeah, of course, anyone could if you weigh blooming 54 soaking wet. Right? Sorry. Anyway, trying to get lean, trying to lose weight so I can do that. Yes, that's one of my goals as well. And yeah, another question from Reese Williams. When you doing a half marathon or full marathon? I've done a half marathon before and my knee nearly blew out at 13 kilometers. So, and it literally, I did a 16 kilometer run yesterday and my knee nearly blew out again. So it's going to be a case of building up to it. Maybe a full marathon, but as I said earlier on, it doesn't really interest me to be like, oh, what time do you get? What time do you get? Like I did the sub 10K, but shorter races, when it's a sprint, I like sprinting. I'm good at that. I'm not good at long distance stuff. Shout out Ollie Rosario, right? He did a flipping marathon in Boston and he got it done. That takes fucking, and at like 90 something body weight. So fair play to you. I saw that, I was like, oh, blooming it, my knees would fucking snapping off. They'd be literally hyperextending after like 12K, right? We don't want that. Those are the two on there. Now, I had a couple of my mates send. Right, my camera's overheating, which was one of the issues with the Sony ZV-10s, which is not good. Hopefully we can get this done. I'm going to try and get some stuff. So is recovery and or preparation more important in terms of wanting to see improvements in performance as well as mindset? Preparation is the key for everything. If you plan ahead, you then know what you're doing, and then you can then break it down and then plan it into your diary. That's what I do. If you don't have a list of things that you want to do the next day, you're barely going to get any of them done. If you list it, at least you can then tick it off, and then at least you know what you're going to do the next day. That's my first thing. Recovery is obviously a main thing that you need to be working on, especially when it comes to physique and also performance when it comes to running and whatever else, sports. You need to be recovering. Stretching is one of my goals for this year, but I'm not actually doing that much of it, unfortunately. How much does working on yourself, fitness routine, allow you to develop in other aspects of life, like work? So if you're putting yourself first, and coming on to the next thing, being a yes man, if you're putting yourself first and saying no to going out for drinks or going out for food and, you know, training and making sure you're getting your non-negotiables, so sleep, training, food, diet, etc. If you're getting that in, work's going to be better because you're not going to be hungover all the time. You're not going to be feeling shit and in a mood. You're not going to be reliant on caffeine. You're not going to be doing all these things that are causing you to be a moody bastard at work, so that people then think, oh, I'm not going to he's been a knob, I'm not going to talk to him. And then suddenly that promotion that you were looking at for 1 year is now 3 years down the line because you're just being a mope and someone else gets it, and then you're like, oh, I was meant to get that, and then you don't actually get it. And you're just a miserable bastard around work, and then no one actually wants to spend time with you, okay? Whoa, can we not do that? We've got bloody noises going on everywhere. We're nearly done. I don't know how long I've been running for, but we're nearly done. The main thing, another thing is having as little distractions as you can to remain focused on what you want to do with your life. This is more of a statement, but yes, being efficient with what you do. You can't do everything. You can't say yes to everyone. And you just need to figure out what works for you, what you want to do, and what makes you happy in life. If you are, for myself, as I said, I've got a lot of things going on. There's a lot of complications with distance from Lacey, with work, with what I'm trying to do, which hopefully is going to come into fruition in 2025, but we don't know. We don't know right now how it's going to pan out. There's certain things that I do know, and I'm going to get this sorted and going to be with Lacey, but it's just there's a lot of logistical things that are causing some concerns and causing some, not issues, but you know what I'm saying, conversations. And anyway, how can you just need to write down. For myself right now, it is work, training, diet, golf. Pretty much. And Lacey. Whoa. It goes Lacey, work, training, diet, golf with friends, swole golfers. I'm the only swole golfer. It just comes down to writing down what makes you happy, what you want to do, what you want to fill your time with, and then anything else outside of that. Flipping heck. Whoa! Don't start this, please. Okay, good. Anything outside of that, you need to make sure that you are cutting it out. Obviously, seeing family and seeing friends is very important, but if you're doing it and then you're doing bad habits, at the same time, I'm just going to mute it. If you're doing bad habits at the same time, such as drinking or eating shit food, like going to going to your families for a takeaway on blooming. Right, it's overheating, it's taking the piss. I'm gonna have to get a new camera at this rate because this is ridiculous. But yeah, writing down what you want to do, what things that you do over the weekend or after work, and then figure out what you can cut out. Just be sensible with it, really. And lastly, well, we touched on this a little bit. How do you go from a yes man to a no man, and picking and choosing things that change your mindset? Figure out what makes you happy. Figure out what doesn't make you happy. What's actually dragging you down and not allowing you to reach your full potential. Whether that's with business, whether that's with personal relationships, whether that's with physical health. And, just make sensible choices. Will it make the boat go faster? Will it make me better? Will it improve how I feel tomorrow? Will it improve how I feel in a week's time? And instead of taking that instant gratification, taking that sort of long-term, basically don't take the instant gratification, because normally that's short-lived, and it always is. We all know that. Anyway, if you've listened this far, I really do appreciate you. Hopefully this is not going to turn off. I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible. I will be having a microphone, my actual Yeti mic. I've got a long aux cable, which is coming soon. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this. It should be on Spotify soon. I'm going to do all that stuff like I did beforehand. But I really appreciate you listening to this. Hope you enjoy this. If there's anything that you think that will be a good addition, or anything you think that I need to improve, if the sound wasn't amazing, let me know. I'll probably know anyway. But please, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you. I need to think of a different thing. Shall we sign off with a song? Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Over again, I will change my mind. See you later.